Hello, I'm Anton Nel, and I'm looking forward to sharing some thoughts about Debussy with you. The work we're going to discuss is the 9th prelude from the first book, the Interrupted Serenade. I'd like to share my story about the piece with you. It concerns a rather melancholy guitarist who is trying to serenade somebody with only limited success. He starts out playing a rather sad little tune, but his efforts are interrupted by the loud slamming of a door or a window perhaps. This doesn't deter him much though, because he keeps going, and then suddenly a different interruption occurs. He has competition in the form of somebody else, playing a slightly major and much more cheerful melody than he is trying to do. He responds very angrily, twice. And then, finally, the opposition disappears, and he continues with his sad song to a very quiet conclusion. In the beginning, which he wants to be like an introduction to the whole work, he uses some interesting effects that one could hear from a guitarist. And in fact, the beginning of the work is written quasi-guitarra, like a guitar. Here are some guitar-like effects that Debussy expects a pianist to do. Right in the beginning, you can hear the picking and the twang that guitarists do so well, followed then by more picking, which he makes you do with rapidly alternating thumbs, repeating the same notes. And then, shortly afterwards, the guitarist starts accompanying himself. And here Debussy is very particular with the kind of instructions for the pianist. The melody he expects to be expressive, plaintive, yielding, and the accompaniment in the left hand covered, veiled, and following the expressivity of the right hand, like this. In addition to everything else, of course, you can also hear Debussy's wonderful sense of sonority and also just the pure idiomaticism which he uses when he writes for the keyboard. Now, shortly after this, we are getting ready for the first interruption by this poor guitarist. Here it is. But he perseveres. Back to singing. Following the first and quite rude interruption, the guitarist now starts to sing again, perhaps even with more determination and passion than before. There's even a moment where he puts in a cadenza for himself, but then he gets competition from another guitarist somewhere else. Debussy instructs the pianist to sound as if it's coming from a distance. There's a very angry response, even enraged, as it says in the score, from the guitarist, and now the competitor is even a little closer. And then finally, with even a more enraged response, the person is scared off, and the guitarist can sing its little melancholy song till the end of the piece, which fades out into the distance, very clearly indicated in the score. One of my favorite things about this piece is Debussy's wonderful way to combine dry sonorities that a guitarist produces, combined with the harmonies and blending of sounds that he's so well known for. And right near the end, I think is an outstanding example where he instructs the pianist to play rubato and also, loosely translated, sweetly and harmoniously, which to me means blending of the sounds in the pedals. Let me demonstrate that. And then it goes back to the plucking finish. And as instructed in the score, the guitarist walks away into the distance somewhere, probably in search of somebody else to serenade.